Hello Tottenham fans, just finished watching the game and I thought I'd get these video out the way. It's finished Tottenham Hotspur 0, Manchester City 1, and never easy doing these kinds of videos after a defeat, but this game was lost in the first half. Spurs weren't doing the things basic. In the first 10 minutes we was okay. We was controlling the game, to be honest, and Man City weren't really getting a sniff. We was pressing okay, the passing was good, and then Man City scored out of nowhere, and from then on in the first half it was just giving the ball away. The pressing wasn't together, the players weren't pressing together, the tackling wasn't strong enough, the cohesion with the players, the 1-2s, there was no like togetherness in that first half. It was just, we made it very easy for Manchester City. And to be honest, they could have scored 3 or 4 goals in that first half, and it would have been fair. It was just, we were lucky to go in just 1-0 down, and so for me, I was very frustrated watching that first half. It was very poor. There's only a couple of players I thought were playing okay, and that was your Doggy and Bentancur. They were the only two that were really having an impact on our play. Gray was very assured as well, but I'll get into him in a bit because he did all right today. To be fair, there are some positives in this game that we can take away from this. It's very hard to speak about positives when you've just lost. The first half there was hardly any positives, but in the second half, Spurs came to life. I remember at half time they were saying that this is the second youngest ever Premier League team fielded in the Premier League history from Spurs, and they're showing all the signs that they're inexperienced. But the same players came out in the second half and dominated Manchester City for at least 20 to 25 minutes in a spell where we really should have scored at least 2 goals ourselves. So, there was some very, very good chances, and on another day we would have been more clinical. What we did wrong today was but the pressing today in the second half, I'd say like the pressing was a lot better, the passing was a lot better, but there was still no clinical edge to us in the second half, which again that cost us too. And Man City were always there, going to be playing on the counter, trying to hold their lead. It was very frustrating in the second half because we were much the better side. I'm happy that we came out and started playing better in the second half, because if we played like the first half in the second half, it would have ended up being 4 or 5-0. So, I'm just so frustrated that we just didn't start the first half like we did the second half. We probably would have got a victory today. Man City were there for the taking and we just didn't do it. And yeah, it's so frustrating. Sonny could have scored, Sarr could have scored, Johnson could have scored, Tell could have scored. Like we had quite a few chances in that second half to get enough to win this game. I'll talk about some positives, and I'll say Danso had a good game today. Archie Gray was so confident at the back and so good on the ball. He twisted and turned away from Haaland so many times. Before the game, they were speaking about Haaland going to bully Gray. Other way around. Gray was better on the ball than Haaland by far, and he almost got man of the match. If this was 0-0, Gray probably would have got man of the match. He played so well at the back there, and we keep saying he's not a defender, but he could be morphing into a defender now. He's a good defender. He's making Dragushin look bad because he's playing out of position and playing better than Dragushin. Bergvall was another positive. Very, very good at running with the ball, and he just glides through that pitch and he's twisting and turning, and he turns people inside out. I can't believe Archie Gray's 18 and Bergvall's 19, and I'm talking about the positives, and they're the ones that are the positives yet again. I thought Maddison was doing all right today as well, to be fair. One of the senior players, Maddison was playing pretty decently. I was very, very annoyed when he got taken off and Werner got put on, because you're taking off a creative midfielder and putting on someone that won't do nothing. Werner did nothing when he came on, again, as usual. When Spence came on, another positive. Spence came on and was brilliant again, as usual. Even defensively, Savinho didn't do anything. As soon as Spence came on, Savinho went quiet. Spence had him in his pocket, and then Spence was also going forwards as well and taking on his man. He's got so much confidence at the moment. I'm trying to think of some more positives. It's very hard. Another positive is at least we was able to bring on decent subs. Our subs were Sarr, Sonny, Kulusevski, Spence. These are good subs to bring on, and we could have won the game because of it. And it's so frustrating because in the second half we deserved to win. In the first half we deserved to lose. It's one of those games. It's a game of two halves basically, and yeah. More positives is that they are a very young side. They are a team that are building for the future, and they're not looking that far off it now. Couple more seasons with these youngsters and adding a bit of sprinkle of quality in with them, like a strong DM and another strong midfielder to go in there, another strong number 8 to go in there to compact that midfield a bit more, and then to play that around the youngsters. This side looks like it's heading in the right direction. It's this season in the league, we're not going to get very far. But if we beat City today, this is the frustrating thing. This is why I'm frustrated. If we beat City today, we would have been, I think, 10 points from 4th or something. So we, now that's out the window completely. Now we have to concentrate on the Europa League. Another positive to take is we're going to get Solanke, Romero, Van der Ven and Richarlison all back for the Europa League games. Odegaard played decent in the second half. He tried to do some flicks and tricks in the first half that didn't come off, but in the second half Odegaard looked very, very good, taking on his man, linking up well with Tell, linking up well with Spence when he came on. Odegaard looks pretty decent. Johnson was at his frustrating self again, where he kept playing it backwards. And the thing that frustrates me about Johnson the most is when we've got a midfielder like Bergvall was running through, he ran through about 2 or 3 players, and he wanted to play it through to Johnson. Johnson liked to run on the last man and run through. Johnson just held back and just waited for the ball, and then for a side pass rather than a through ball, which he's got the pace to do, and I don't know why he does that. It's very frustrating, but he did a few good things today, Johnson, so I'm not going to get on his case, but yeah, it's just some of the things he does is very frustrating. Sonny nearly scored when he came on as well. Brilliant save from I think it was Edison, I can't remember his name, from the Manchester City goalkeeper. Great save, otherwise Sonny would have got an equaliser. Man City did score second at the end, but referee, what happened there was, let me just explain it so everyone understands, is when he scored that goal, the referee didn't give it. So when the VAR's checking it, the VAR didn't see a handball, which it wasn't. There wasn't a handball there, in my opinion. So what happened there was, the referee hasn't given the handball, which means VAR can't overturn it because they haven't seen any sufficient evidence to overturn it, if that makes sense. If he gave the handball and VAR would have said there's no sufficient evidence to overturn that. So if the referee gave the handball, then it would have stood. But the referee didn't, and that's why Man City only won 1-0. But by then, in my mind, I was like, we've already lost anyway. It makes no difference to me whatsoever. But Spurs lose again by 1 goal. All in all, I think overall, the quality of chances, Man City deserve to win. But I'm very happy that Spurs in the second half gave them a game and didn't just crumble and wilt away in the second half. So, we have to suck it up. We've lost a game against a very, very decent Manchester City side. We could have done better. We could have done a lot better, but we didn't. We've got a week's rest now for the Europa League, so I'm looking forward to that. It's not going to be a fun video today, so let me know in the comments what you thought of the game, and come on you Spurs.